Waterwight, Book 1, Part 2, Chapter 31. In this part of the book, Part 2, called Away, we go back and forth between the Overleader and Celeste. So Chapter 31 is with the Overleader. We're going to discover some things about her. Temporarily blinded by a flash of light and its accompanying shock wave, the Overleader choked, breathless and trembling, in the bottom of a sinking boat. When she could see again, the reality of her situation became apparent. "What on earth?" she whispered to no one but herself. She was alone. For as far as she could see through the belching sulfurous gases, the silvery pink surface of the water churned around her. The crude and failing craft had kept Orville afloat until moments earlier, when a startling jolt stole his body from her. She almost had him. She could sense his last breath as she half-breathed it for him, craving the whole breath that would transfer his life to her. It should have been easy for her, the Overleader, the shifter, Sharon, to control the dying creature, weakened by blood loss and fatigue following his near-fatal injury, but his spirit was strong. Never before had she encountered such a battle of wills. She could have, should have killed the girl named Celeste, who pretended to be Paloma, stupid girl, thinking she could hide from me, when she had the chance. She had the girl trapped in her home, but Sharon wanted to make sure Celeste suffered even more before killing her, and morphing into the girl's hideous protector was a perfect plan. "I'll never approach the big water again," she'd promised, and within moments of returning back to the village, she'd loaded her beast into the ridiculous boat and taken him right to the water's edge. Celeste was supposed to return to the village and spread her misery to the others, frightened by the spell of sorrow cast by holding the mystical spear. The immediacy of the girl's betrayal had surprised Sharon, who'd barely invaded the frog's body when Celeste showed up and discovered the possession. "They should all be miserable until the water finally takes them away," Sharon believed. Those who survived the cataclysmic event several years earlier should suffer as she had suffered since childhood until they perished. And then she alone could control the new water-covered planet. Sharon had underestimated the girl's ability to threaten her plan. How could a scrawny girl stop the water from spreading, she wondered. But her rival wasn't just any girl. She'd sensed an existing threat from the moment of her own hideous transformation, yet it had remained nebulous until in a recent dream she heard the name Celeste Araya Nolan. Whoever she was, Sharon would find her and end her. It had taken many long flights over the expansive water to find a place with survivors, but she finally found her answer on the playground at the children's home. The girls and caretakers took no notice of the vulture perched atop the apple tree, and after only 2 days of listening, someone called the girl's name. Sharon sensed defiance in the girl's manner and knew she'd leave the home soon. She didn't have to wait long and almost missed her opportunity to transform into a worm in the kitchen. As soon as Celeste left the safety of the home, she'd get hungry. She would put up no defense against an apple, and once inside her body, Sharon would make sure the girl was no longer a threat. But her plan had failed. Back in her clumsy yet comfortable vulture body, and wondering what had happened in the flash that flung her from Orville's dying body and made him disappear, Sharon took flight from the sinking vessel. She shivered her feathers as the boat disappeared into a belching hole in the water. She still ached from the impact on her body when the wicked flying girl used it to knock her from a village rooftop. She had underestimated Celeste's willfulness. "Just wait till I find you." Her right wing still smarted from the assault. "You thought it was painful reliving the day you lost your parents? Just you wait." She'd been close once again to ending her rival. The girl had shed her uncertainty quickly after her arrival with her disgusting green beast, becoming bolder each day, threatening to ruin the perfect control Blanche had imposed on the weak-minded population of the village. But she was gone. Where? Where? She wondered, considering for a moment the girl might already be dead, swallowed by the stinking water. She dismissed that possibility, sensing in her altered body the presence of the other girl's power. It was linked somehow to the water. And where was the frog? The last thing the overleader remembered was the ache in Orville's heart, in the heart that was almost hers, and a shimmering tunnel opening in a wall of water rising around them. She didn't understand the ache, interpreting it as purely a painful attempt to keep beating. In any case, the meddlesome frog was gone. There was no way it could have survived the sudden lightning strike. Sharon wondered why it hadn't killed her, too. Good riddance, she thought, nearing her house beyond the forest. But her fight to control the dying creature had planted a seed of doubt in her mind. She was learning more about her power to shift with each new experience, and being thrown from the body of one of her victims was a first. She couldn't allow that to happen again. What if I'm losing my power? She banished the thought from her vulture brain. But let's see how long the troublemaker can last without her protector. And why would she care so much about the disgusting frog anyway? Since the tumultuous day that changed everything, Sharon had resigned herself to her fate as a girl trapped in an ancient body, a body keenly attuned to her surroundings and able to transform by taking the lives of others as a shapeshifter. Her evolution as the overleader had taken planning and patience, but she had no patience for ideas like love or loss or sorrow. Fear, she understood. She could see it in her victims' eyes as she took them. She could taste and smell it in their sweat and feel it in the frantic beating of their hearts as the adrenaline surged through them. She could hear it in their screams. That ends chapter 31 of book 1.